Have you ever wondered why SpongeBob SquarePants is always so happy? No matter what life throws at him, whether he's working at the Krusty Krab, getting annoyed by Squidward, or dealing with Plankton's ridiculous schemes, SpongeBob keeps on smiling. You might think, of course he's a cartoon character, he's supposed to be happy. But what if I told you there's more to it? What if SpongeBob's eternal optimism hides a deeper truth? A way of thinking, even a philosophy, that we can learn from? Let's dive in and discover why SpongeBob is always happy, and what makes his unshakable, cheerful attitude so special.
Oh yeah, you're gonna love this. Here, try a sample from the daytime menu.
SpongeBob isn't just happy by accident. One of the first things you notice about him is how determined he is in everything he does. From the moment we meet SpongeBob, it's clear that he has one mission in life: to be the best fry cook at the Krusty Krab. And he takes it incredibly seriously, probably more seriously than any other character in Bikini Bottom takes their job. While Squidward spends his time complaining and daydreaming about being a famous artist, SpongeBob wakes up every day excited to flip burgers. How many of us can honestly say we have that same kind of passion for our work? But the real question is it really about the Krabby Patties? Or is SpongeBob's happiness found in how he approaches life? Maybe his joy isn't in what he does, but in how he does it. To SpongeBob, it doesn't seem to matter that he works a minimum wage job at a fast food restaurant. He finds joy in mastering his craft. He treats it like an art form, and because he sees it that way, flipping burgers becomes not just a job, but a source of pride and fulfillment. That gives him the energy to start each day with a smile. Another striking aspect of SpongeBob's happiness is his daily routine. If you've watched enough episodes, you'll notice that his life is pretty structured. He wakes up at the same time every morning, greeted by the iconic sound of his foghorn alarm clock. He brushes his teeth, puts on his square pants, and heads out to work. And every day, he does the same thing: make Krabby Patties. For many people, this might sound boring or monotonous, but not for SpongeBob. Some might see it as a routine, but for SpongeBob, his consistent schedule offers him stability and peace. The world around him may be chaotic and unpredictable, but his day has a clear structure. That routine gives him control and predictability. Instead of being overwhelmed by life's stressors, SpongeBob finds comfort in the small rituals, things like making breakfast, greeting Gary, or riding his bike to work. What others might see as routine, SpongeBob embraces, and it helps him find joy in every day. When we look at SpongeBob, another key to his happiness is his childlike sense of wonder. He sees everything through a lens of adventure and curiosity, even in the most mundane situations. For him, everything is a source of fun. Just look at how he reacts to simple things like jellyfishing or blowing bubbles. What seems trivial or even silly to adults is pure joy for SpongeBob. Think about the episode where he tries to teach Squidward how to blow bubbles. Squidward, always the cynic, thinks it's ridiculous. But when he finally gets it, he experiences a brief moment of happiness. This is exactly SpongeBob's strength. He can turn the simplest tasks into fun, playful experiences. His ability to find joy in everyday life keeps his spirits high. We often lose that sense of wonder as we grow older, but SpongeBob never does. It's not that his life is perfect. He faces setbacks, failures, and annoyances just like everyone else. But the difference is in how he perceives these events. Where Squidward sees a boring, repetitive job, SpongeBob sees a chance to have fun. Where others might see an annoying neighbor in Patrick, SpongeBob sees a best friend to share adventures with. And hey, if you've made it this far and enjoy this kind of video, don't forget to subscribe. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and your click would really help me out. Now, let's get back to it. One of the most impressive traits SpongeBob has is his resilience. No matter how many times he fails or faces obstacles, he always bounces back, and usually with a smile. Take the episode Pizza Delivery, for example, where SpongeBob and Squidward get lost while delivering a pizza. Squidward is, of course, miserable the whole time, but SpongeBob remains determined and positive. Even after getting lost in the desert, being swept away by a tornado, and dealing with an ungrateful customer, SpongeBob's spirit remains unbroken. This ability to bounce back, to not dwell on the negative, is one of SpongeBob's secrets to happiness. When things go wrong, he doesn't spiral into self-pity or frustration. Instead, he picks himself up and moves forward. That emotional resilience is crucial to his ongoing optimism. Rather than letting failure define him, SpongeBob sees every challenge as an opportunity to learn and grow. His optimism is also fueled by his love for the people around him. SpongeBob is an incredibly social character, and his relationships with his friends play a huge role in his happiness. His deep friendship with Patrick, his playful rivalry with Sandy, and even his endless attempts to befriend Squidward form the core of his social life. Here's an important truth. Strong social connections are one of the biggest predictors of happiness, and SpongeBob demonstrates this perfectly. He values his friends and goes out of his way to spend time with them, even if they don't always appreciate it. Squidward, we're looking at you. But it's not just about having friends, it's about how SpongeBob interacts with them. He is endlessly supportive, forgiving, and caring. But it's not just his friends that make him happy. SpongeBob finds joy in the entire community. Look at how he interacts with the customers at the Krusty Krab, or how excited he gets about participating in local Bikini Bottom events. His connection to the community around him gives him a sense of belonging, and that adds to his happiness. In addition to his social life, another key to SpongeBob's happiness is his gratitude. SpongeBob never takes the good things in his life for granted. Whether it's waking up in his cozy pineapple house, enjoying a jellyfishing trip with Patrick, or receiving a compliment from Mr. Krabs, SpongeBob is always grateful for what he has. This is one of the most powerful yet simple tools for happiness. Gratitude is often cited by researchers as one of the biggest factors for joy. People who practice gratitude regularly tend to experience more joy and contentment in their lives, and SpongeBob is a perfect example of this. Even when things don't go exactly as he wants, he finds something to be thankful for. And that's a big part of why his happiness is so constant. He's always focused on what he has, not what he doesn't have. SpongeBob's imagination is also a crucial part of his happiness. He doesn't need fancy gadgets or exotic vacations to have fun. He can take something as simple as a cardboard box and turn it into a world of adventure. Remember the episode Idiot Box? SpongeBob and Patrick spend the entire episode playing in a box, using nothing but their imagination to create thrilling adventures. Squidward, meanwhile, can't understand how they're having so much fun with nothing. SpongeBob's imagination allows him to find joy wherever he is. He doesn't need external validation or material possessions to be happy. His creativity is enough to keep him entertained for hours. This reminds us that happiness doesn't always come from outside sources. Often, it's our ability to create joy from within that keeps us most fulfilled. Ultimately, SpongeBob's happiness also stems from a deep sense of self-acceptance. He's completely comfortable with who he is. SpongeBob never tries to change himself to fit in or impress others. He's perfectly content being the weird, quirky, square sponge that he is. Self-acceptance is a huge factor in happiness. When you accept yourself for who you are, flaws and all, it's much easier to be happy. SpongeBob knows who he is, and he embraces it. He doesn't care if Squidward thinks he's annoying, or if Plankton thinks he's naive. SpongeBob's confidence in himself is unwavering, and that gives him a sense of peace and joy. So, why is SpongeBob always happy? It's not just because he's a cartoon character with an eternally optimistic personality. It's because he embodies a number of powerful traits that lead to real happiness in life. From his sense of purpose, to his resilience, gratitude, imagination, and self-acceptance, SpongeBob shows us that happiness isn't about having a perfect life. It's about how you approach life's ups and downs.